วัสดีครับอาจารย์ฮัลโหลฮัลโหลฮัลโหลครับครับได้ยินครับโอเคครับสวัสดีครับ
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone is welcome to join if you're interested. We'll see who will come in first. Okay, Alvin from Malaysia. Hi, Alvin, where are you? You have a different background.
Namaskar, Ajaan. Yeah, I think my daughter used the Zoom last week, so it changed the background. Sorry.
Hi.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ajaan, I got one question pertaining to the wisdom developed samadhi again. It's same for the normal attainment of samadhi, you need mindfulness, right? So for you to go the other way around, you must have a very strong mindfulness as well, right, Ajaan? To have the wisdom developed samadhi.
Well, wisdom developed samadhi is an exceptional case when you cannot normally focus on your breath, on your meditation object, or on your mantra. For instance, you might be worrying about your sickness. For instance, you've been diagnosed with cancer and you find it difficult to meditate because your mind keeps thinking about the cancer. So you can use wisdom to teach your mind to let go of your body by telling that the body is anicca, it is changing from birth to aging to sickness and death. And anatta, it is not you, it's just a composition of the four elements. If you can see it clearly and accept the truth, then your worry about your sickness can disappear and your mind will become calm, become normal. Not samadhi, but normal enough for you to then continue on with your meditation, normal meditation, watching your breath or using the mantra. Or another case, if you're sitting and you have strong painful feeling of your body, and you also use wisdom to investigate this painful feeling as being anicca, anatta. And once you can let go of your attachment to or your desire to get rid of this painful feeling, rather than getting rid of it, you accepting it. Once you can accept the painful feeling, then your mind can enter into samadhi also. So this is wisdom developed samadhi. But it has to have something. You have to have suffering. You have to be in stress. And you cannot normally do your normal meditation practice. Then you will have to use wisdom to get your mind back to normality before you can continue on with your. Or sometimes with the case of painful feeling, your mind might enter into jhana right after, if you can let go of your attachment to the painful feeling. If you want to, you can stop your desire to get rid of your painful feeling and accept the painful feeling for what it is. And your mind can enter into equanimity that way.
Okay, Ajahn. Understood. Understood.
But normally, if you don't have any stress, then you don't know what type of wisdom you're gonna use to get rid of your stress. So you can then proceed with your normal meditation method by mindfulness method of watching your breath or reciting a mantra.
I mean, for
But,
me, painful feeling is every time I meditate, I'll get a painful feeling.
yeah, and if you want to overcome this and pass over this painful feeling, then you have to use wisdom to teach your mind that this is something that is natural, something that you cannot avoid or eliminate. Only way to deal with it is to accept it. Once you can accept this, then your mind will then become calm and peaceful. You can live with the painful feeling. Or any type of stress. If you have stress and you cannot use mindfulness to stop it, then you have to use wisdom if you know how to use it. Like if you're told that you're going to lose your job suddenly without any warning, you might feel very restless, could not go to sleep, worry about what you're going to do next with your life. Then you can use wisdom to teach your mind to accept that working is a job is anicca, it's not dependable, it's not reliable. You can lose it any time, any day, and you cannot stop it, prevent it. It's anatta. And you say, okay, so fine, I'll go become a monk. If you just change your mind, say, okay, I'm happy to lose my job and become a monk. Look at me, I lost my job. I gave up my job and I became a monk. Then there will be no stress.
True.
All right, so you have to have stress, and you cannot use your normal mindfulness to calm your mind with. Then you might have to use wisdom. The three characteristics of existence. See, the thing that is causing you stress is because you cannot accept the truth of anicca, anatta. You want to control. You want to keep things that you cannot keep, for instance.
And dukkha as well, right?
Yeah, everything. Anything that causes you stress. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Thanajan.
Next, we'll go to Bangkok with Jordan Leach. Jordan, you have found a place to ordain, huh? Finally.
I did. Hello, Tanajan. Yes.
How did you go
Place.
about it?
There was a monk at Wat Boan who found that place for me.
Thai monk or Western monk?
He's from Nepal.
Nepal. Okay.
Yeah. I met him a few months ago, and then I went to visit him recently. And
is he a senior monk at Wat Boan or just a junior monk?
I think he's quite senior.
Okay.
He's actually an abbot of a monastery back in Nepal.
Yeah. Okay. Good. You're lucky to meet him.
Very lucky, yes.
Just like I was. I met a monk at Wat Boan, so he was an English monk, and he was the one who introduced me to a preceptor, an upachaya.
Oh, amazing! That's wonderful, and it was your suggestion that I go there when I first came to Bangkok. So thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so there shouldn't be any problem with ordaining and getting your visa, your sponsorship.
I have a Thai citizen sponsor, one of the lay people at Wat Yan, actually, who I met on Pindapat, has offered very kindly, and I've gone to the monastery where I'm going to ordain. I've been there a couple times, and to just they just want to know that I'm serious and that I'm learning the chanting for ordination.
So the one who the abbot will be willing to certify for your visa.
Yes, that's what it seems like.
Okay, because you need the abbot or someone, the abbot or monastery to be your sponsor or give you the certification that you're a legitimate monk.
Okay, he's aware of that. We've been. I think this monastery sort of helps other foreign monks from different countries, neighboring countries to Thailand, like Laos, come to Thailand. So I think they're familiar with that.
Is this in Bangkok, the monastery?
It is. It's
Okay.
about 40-minute drive west.
What's the name of it?
Wat Thong Niam.
What Tham Niam?
Wat Thong Niam.
Okay, good. Maybe I can then recommend other foreigners if they want to ordain and go
Okay.
there.
Yeah, it's a little forest monastery in the city, really.
Yeah, good.
I heard that Langta Mahabua has went there when he was alive to teach.
I see, good. It must be a good monastery then.
Yes. So Tanajan, sometimes my friends they wonder how monks can be celibate, and they sort of have an idea about being non-meditators, that they have an idea that the only way they could be celibate is through sort of suppressing this sexual desire through willpower, and my understanding, I'm wondering if you could talk about this, is that when you use asubha to get rid of sexual desire, it's not really suppressing, because the mind, if you do it right, the mind becomes very calm and peaceful. Is that right? And it's not sort of fighting with the desire anymore.
It's not fighting. It's looking at the other side of the story. See, a body has two sides to it: attractive side and not attractive side. When you look at the attractive side of the body, you get sexual arousal, sexual desire. When you look at the unattractive side of the body, then you just lose that sexual desire. That's all. Simple. What you perceive is the one that causes you to have the reaction to. See, if you see something that is attractive, you can be aroused by what you see. But if you look at the unattractive, then you won't be aroused by what you see.
Okay. Most of the time, people just don't want to look at that.
That's right. That's a simple truth. Nobody wants to look at it. That's why you don't have people selling magazine of anatomy, but anatomy on the newsstand. You only see naked pornography books on the newsstand.
They wouldn't sell very well.
That's right, because nobody would buy it, because nobody wants to be celibate.
That's right.
Everybody wants to have sex. That's what they call the sexual revolution.
Yeah.
But they don't know that they're being trapped by the sexual revolution. Once they are engaged in this sexual activity, they become addicted, and they could not live without it.
Yeah, and they I guess originally think that it's a form of freedom, but it really just makes us
slavery. It's more like slavery rather than freedom. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I have one more question about. So Now, normally when my body is when my body's in kind of more severe pain, my breathing becomes shorter and sort of irregular, and maybe my muscles tighten up or shake or something. I wonder, for someone who is skilled in samadhi, or who can see pain with wisdom, I wonder if their breathing can stay calm with pain. And
Yes, they'll be normal. Because it's the mind that causes this reaction of the body. If the mind becomes stressful, then this is the reaction that you will get with the body. But if you're calm, not stressful, then just everything as if things doesn't like normal, things normal. So
okay,
it's very
thank you.
helpful. Meditation is very helpful to deal with painful feeling. Okay.
Okay. Yes, thank you very much, Ajahn.
Yeah, next, Sheila. Hi, Sheila. Where are you from? Are you Samanji mother? You have to unmute your microphone first. In the left-hand corner, lower left, there's an icon. Okay, you can speak now.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, I'm Sheila from California, Stalin and Sheila from
I see.
California.
Is that the
I'm
same
now
way?
I'm now in Georgia with we came to visit our son.
I see.
Samangi is my husband's niece. I just wanted to join in and say that we are practicing right now. And I have one question. Now, when we say wholesome and unwholesome things in our life, is it according to the 5 precepts, or anything that goes towards the path, towards Nibbana, and anything that takes us away from Nibbana, or just following just the 5 precepts?
Oh, it
How
covers the
to
whole
separate-
range. It covers everything. It means the path, really. Wholesome things mean you're on the path. Unwholesome
Right.
things mean you're away from the path. Going on in a different direction, going in the other way. Unwholesome path, you go in the opposite of the wholesome path. And the wholesome path is toward Nibbana.
Right, so it covers the whole,
Yeah.
the 5 precepts and anything that we think of in life, right?
Like if you don't do dana, that's unwholesome. If you do dana, it's wholesome.
Right.
If you keep the precept, that's wholesome. If you don't keep the precept, that's not wholesome.
Right.
If you meditate, that's wholesome. If you don't meditate, then it's not wholesome. Are you Stalin's wife in California? Okay.
That's right, from California. We are now in Georgia, visiting with our son.
You know Samanji Vetumuni in Sri Lanka?
Yes, he's my husband's niece.
I see. Okay. Oh, okay. I just thought maybe it's a coincidence.
Stalin is here. He's
Okay.
he asked whether we know someone.
Okay. Yeah, she's here tonight also. I can see her
Yes,
on the
yes.
screen.
Samangi is my cousin's daughter.
I see. Okay. Good. It's a small world, huh? We're in different parts of the world and we can be here together. Okay, anything else? I have lots of people waiting.
Yeah, that's all for today.
Okay. I'll
Okay,
go
thank you.
next. I'll go next to Indonesia with Nining.
Yeah, good evening, Ajahn. Ajahn, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, Ajahn, I have a question. If I use Mahasi method, rising and falling abdomen in my meditation, can I read the result as Anapanasati?
You have to try it out. I didn't try it, so I cannot give you the answer.
Oh, because I have I ever study Mahasi, rising and falling abdomen, and I have already get used to using it for years. And then now I learn Anapanasati. I start from zero. I mean,
Well, it's up to you. Whichever method works for you, you can use it, I think.
And hopefully I will I have already issued my ticket. I will be in Wat Yan on 23 June this month.
Okay.
Yeah, so I want to practice more, and hopefully I can stay longer. As Ajahn said that if no guests, so I can extend my stay in Wat Yan and practice my meditation.
Okay, don't go too far ahead of your. Try to stay in the present better. You know.
Yeah.
And regarding to your question just now, I don't think it's the method that matters so much more than mindfulness. I think if you have good mindfulness, whichever method, there will always be result. They'll be good. But if you don't have mindfulness, it doesn't matter which method you use, you won't get any result. So pay more attention to practicing mindfulness first. Sati.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, last week I joined the Dhamma class, and then after offer I want to join the Zoom, but I joined in the last 30 minutes, so I cannot getting in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, you're welcome. Go to Singapore with Kok Seng.
Good evening, Prajan. Last week somebody asked you about disenchantment, and Prajan, you give a description of disenchantment, and I recall that Prajan, you also mentioned about one of the important suttas that we should study is the Fire Sutta, and I have actually I've gone through the Fire Sutra, and I recall that Fire Sutra has a paragraph about disenchantment. So I looked through again, and I have to beg Prajan forgiveness of my ignorance. I'm still unable to understand some of the paragraph. So I hope Prajan, you can clarify my doubts about the paragraph which I'm unable to understand from the Fire Sermon.
I think you have to clarify it from your practice. You know, just read it and then just have a brief picture of it, a general picture of it, and then wait until you practice and get to that point, and you'll be able to understand it yourself. Don't worry so much about the result. Pay more attention to your practice.
Okay. So meaning that when the time comes,
Yes, you understand every word the Buddha said. If you don't understand now, it means you're not supposed to now, because you're not there yet. You have to get there before you can understand exactly what the Buddha said. Just practice mindfulness and calm your mind first. Then everything will become clearer. Right now your mind is cloudy with delusion, with ignorance. And you cannot use ignorance to teach you to become intelligent or wise. Okay.
Thank you, Prajan.
You're welcome. Philip from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. Happy to be here, just listening. Do you have any questions tonight?
No question.
Nope. Yes, no questions. Just
okay.
listening to everybody.
I'll go to Ohio with Masha. Hi, Masha. How are you?
Oh, very good. Thank you. I hope you are well. also. I was working this week on what you had recommended me to do to hold my mindfulness on the breathing at the nose tip, and to not have expectations to, reach the peace, what I feel like I've been missing. So I did struggle with expectations initially. But then around Sunday, I had a meditation where I think I was using wisdom, the way you're explaining it, where before I sat down, I was like realizing I couldn't control things and that everything is basically filled with suffering. And so I sat and I held the gaze at the nose tip, more like glancing, like loosely holding the gaze. And as I did that for a couple of minutes, then there was a spaciousness opened up. And it was very peaceful. And all the while there was like holding of the glance and this spaciousness that was peaceful and easeful. So I had that for quite a while, and I was in a Zoom meditation, and the meditation finished and was like, I didn't want it to end. And it actually didn't end. And for the whole day, I had this underlying ease, and I'd go through my activities, and if I would just stop and remember the meditation, it was that spaciousness was with me the whole day. So I thought that was pretty good. And I felt that in my meditation, I have to really let go of controlling or gripping the method and just let it be, let things be. And then it's like 9 a.m. here for me in Ohio. And I just had a meditation this morning, and I felt like from your first comments, I didn't hear all of them. I feel like I've been using wisdom in my practice. And in my meditation this morning, I had the insight into the heart and the mind. And I've been able to see a little bit all week long how the heart, the feelings in the heart, perform the clinging or the grasping. And I can't really control that, but I can drop it. And then I was also able to see that when the meditation would be more pleasant, and then I'd have an expectation of peace or, what's coming next, this is good. And I could see the same gripping in the heart. It was like the heart appropriates the pleasant, the unpleasant, the exciting, the boring. And that's where the suffering is right there. And I'm going to try to work on that. And it's the mindfulness that is seeing all of these things. And I know I'm not explaining it very well. I just admire all the other people in the Zoom who seem to be so clear in their questioning. But
yes, the goal is to let the mind just be merely observing, be merely knowing. Don't try to control anything.
Yeah.
let things be. Then let things come and go. You cannot hold on to them. When you hold on to anything, when they leave, then you can become sad. But if you don't hold on to anything, then when they leave, you don't feel any sadness. You just know that everything is temporary.
Right. And, typically as I live my life, it seems like I'm holding all the time. And it's just in these moments of meditation where I can see the letting go. Seems like everything in life, I'm either grabbing or I'm pushing away. And in the meditation, I'm starting to see how that happens. I can't see the mind, I can't see the feeling, but it's in the meditation, we're working with these things that we can't even see.
With meditation, we train the mind to stop reacting. We stop grabbing or stop pulling away from things. Just let things come and go.
Okay.
Right?
So thank you. Thank you for the guidance.
Yeah, the more meditation you do, then the more your mind will become neutral. It will not react positively or negatively to anything. Just merely knowing, just merely observing things, like watching things come and go,
Okay. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. I'll go to New Zealand now with Anura and Ramya.
Good evening, Ajaan. Good to see you. I have no question. Very happy to listen in. So many good questions. So we also learn a lot. And happy to see Jordan's good news. So very, I think everyone's dream, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ajaan, thinking about the body as 4 elements, is it using wisdom rather than doing vipassana?
Well, wisdom and vipassana is the same thing. See the truth. Yeah. We tend to look at the body as being a person, a man or a woman, but in fact, the body is just a material thing. It's made up of the 4 elements. And in the 4 elements, there's no self in the 4 elements. No self in the water element, earth element, fire element, or wind element. So the whole body, there's no self. It's just a natural phenomenon. But our delusion, our mind delusion, keep thinking that we are the body. The body is us. But in fact, it is not. It's just like the wind, the rain that we see. We have to look at the body like we look at the rain, the wind. Yeah. Once we can look at that, then we will not be hurt by whatever happens to the body. We're not hurt when the wind blows or it stops blowing. So we have to understand this. This is the nature of the body. It's a phenomenon. There's no self. It's a natural phenomenon. Then one day it will then change into something else different. The body one day will disappear. Like ice cream, it will melt right into water, turn into liquid. The body will also one day melt into the 4 elements.
So if you feel the elements inside, if we try to feel the air flowing in and
it's not just feeling
within the body.
It's just knowing that the body is just. You have to break this delusion that you have in your mind that this body is me. There's no you in this body. You just happen to come and become connected to the body through your ability to connect with using your vijnana
Yeah.
connector, so that you become aware of this body. But you're not the body. You're just using the body. You're user of the body. You can see this more clearly when you meditate. When you meditate and calm your mind, then your mind and the body will be temporarily separated.
So when the mind, when you meditate, it's okay to use vipassana and samatha.
It depends
If calmness set your way, then
on the situation. If you can use mindfulness, use mindfulness. If you cannot use mindfulness because your mind is somehow stressful, then you might have to use vipassana or wisdom to calm your mind first, before you can come and use mindfulness to meditate, to bring it into deeper calm.
So you don't have to to do vipassana separately, and the same go. It's okay to use vipassana if necessary.
It depends on what you're doing. See, there's no general rules which you want to use at what time. You have to know. Like if something happened to your husband and you worry about him, and you cannot meditate, you cannot watch your breath. If you want to stop this worrying, then you have to use wisdom to teach your mind that your husband is anicca, his body is temporary, his body is subjected to aging, sickness, and death. If you can see this and accept this, then you say, okay, let him be, let him get sick, let him die. Once you can do this, your mind then becomes calm enough to meditate. You come back and watch your breath.
Understand.
This can also be vipassana at the same time, because by then you might be able to accept his death before he dies. Because if you don't accept it, you're gonna become stressful. If you can accept it, then your stress will disappear, and you don't change anything anyway. Your husband gonna die anyway, but your reaction to it will be different. Instead of becoming sad or stressful, you just become normal. You just okay.
Yeah, thank you, Dhamma. Yeah.
Go to Sammy now. Okay, Sammy, you have any question you can ask? This is the best time to ask me.
I was just wondering that about the Buddha method. Is it something that might help us if we are doing, let's say, Anapana? And shall we do also like some session of Buddha, or let's say if our Anapana is going successful, is there any need to practice the Buddha method?
No, if you can use anapanasati and you can become calm by that, then you don't need Buddha. But sometimes when you sit with using anapanasati and your body starts to become painful, and you might not be able to concentrate on your breath, then maybe the Buddha will be helpful. You can switch the Buddha to a mantra.
Like if we're doing long sittings and the body become painful.
That's right, and you cannot focus on your breath because your mind keeps thinking about your painful feeling. If you want to pull your mind away from the painful feeling, then you have to use a mantra instead. Just keep reciting mantra. Maybe you have to do it quite quickly, also quite rapidly. Bhutto, 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 bhutto. To bring your mind away from the thinking about the pain. Because when you think about the pain, you want to get rid of it. When you want to get rid of it, then you can creating another. You will create stress in your mind, and this is the stress in your mind. That's the one that makes it for you not be able to bear, not the painful feeling. The painful feeling is bearable if your mind is calm enough. But if your mind has stress, then you will not be able to remain still. It's not the painful feeling. It's the stress that causes you not to be able to continue with your meditation.
So if we accept the pain,
Yes,
then
accept.
we can sit
Yeah,
more.
then there will be no stress in the mind. Then you can continue on sitting. Try and see how it works for you.
Thank you, Ajaan.
You have other question you ask my assistant with. Do you want to ask here now or not?
Oh, well, regarding my stay at Wat Hian, I
Yes.
asked your assistant, and she said there's a limit, like a certain amount of days one can stay in the lower monastery, certain amount of days one can stay in the upper monastery, like
Yeah, there are different arrangements for the monastery or for the mountain resort. With the monastery, I think they allow you to stay 7 days.
yes.
And they have a house for you to stay in with amenities like electricity and running water. But on the mountain, it's more like in the wild. There's no electricity or running water. There you can stay for 2 weeks and get extension from the monks.
Oh, okay. So she didn't tell me about the extension, but yeah, she said something about 2 weeks. I'm not sure it's
Yeah.
in there.
Normally, if there's room available and nobody reserved for the room or the place, then you're allowed to stay longer. If there's no issue arising, if you're not creating any problem with the other people that stay there.
And regarding meeting with you,
I usually,
would
you
it-
can see me in the morning after my meal time around 9 a.m. on weekdays. On weekend, I won't be there. So you can see me during the weekdays. Like today, around 9 o'clock. After you finish your meal and I finish my meal, then you can come and ask me question if you like.
Okay.
But I might be busy with some other people, so you might have to wait. Like Jordan, sometimes he tried to wait and he couldn't wait because there are so many other people waiting to talk to me. But if you stay there and you have plenty of time, if you cannot do it today, you can do it tomorrow. Because you have to walk down from the mountain every day and go on Bintabat with the monks. Then you can get food from the monk for your meal.
Oh, that's quite like quite extreme situation. No electricity, nothing.
Austere practices, we call Dutanga.
The tongue, okay.
Mhm.
Interesting.
But if you're not ready for that yet, then you can stay down below. But
I was
down
thinking to
below,
do both. Just stay 1 week first at the lower monastery and then go up.
okay, you can do that. Some people stay for a few days in the monastery and then wants to go up. So you can shorten your stay down below if you like.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
Thank you, Tanajan.
Okay. Next, we'll go to Sao Paulo with Alfredo. Alfredo, you want to come to Thailand?
Hi, Bante.
Hi.
No, I don't.
Brazil and Thailand
Yes.
is similar, right? You have lots of forests.
I don't. Yes. I don't travel a lot. I live more in my house.
Mhm.
I live in Kutia. Is a club, né? Country club. My house is near country club.
Okay.
Since I was born, I live here. I don't
Okay.
travel a lot.
That's good. And you can stay.
Other
And you
other
can stay.
teachers invite me to travel to
Mhm.
Thailand to be a monk, in Mahayana to be a monk. Other teachers and monks have me to be a monk, to be a
Okay, doesn't matter. You can you be happy where you are. That's good enough.
yes.
Mhm.
I think I'm not so much smart, but I think I not so use my potential. I don't know.
Maybe you already reached where you want to go. Maybe you're happy where you are. If you're happy, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't like the world, but I don't like samsara. I am not happy a lot.
Okay.
I think, yes, anything is not good in the world. I don't know. Dukkha is okay. Dukkha Nietzsche, Anatta is okay. For Jana is okay.
Yeah. If you don't like samsara, then you must not come back. You should not have any rebirth.
Yes. It's my goal, never. It's my
Yeah.
goal.
And you have to practice meditation and vipassana to stop your rebirth.
Yes. Anagami.
Arahant, not anagami.
Arahant.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, but
All right.
here is a lot of parties in Brazil. Junine Festa Junina. I don't know in English. São João is look like very big or very fights, fogueiras, fights in the country. Is a culture, a part of culture in Brazil.
Culture. Okay, good.
Culture in Brazil. The name is Festa Junina in Brazil. Is the people's very happiness.
And people are happy by celebrating festival.
Yes, festival.
Okay.
Winter festival.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
But I not participate a lot. I only see. I go in one part or two parts. I don't enter a lot.
Okay.
It's not.
Better to meditate.
Yes. Better to meditate.
Okay. I'll see you later.
When we are meditating, Bante, and doing things, in Anapanasati, taking breath and taking body, when are doing things or working, taking breath and doing things.
Just watch what you do. Don't watch your breath. Watch what you do. If you're eating, just watch your eating. If you're riding your motorcycle, you watch your motorcycle, not your breath.
Yes, Bante.
Because if you don't, then you can get into an accident if you just keep watching your breath and while you drive your motorcycle.
Yes.
So you have to watch what you do, mindful of what you do when you're doing something. But when you're not doing anything, when you're sitting down, then you watch your breath.
Yes.
Okay.
It's good to smart people. Yes. Yes, Bhante.
All right. See you
Bye.
next week. Bye.
Yes.
I go to Vika. Hi, Vika. Where are you now? In India with the group?
Nice to meet you. I'm glad to see you. Now I'm in Bali.
Bali.
Yeah, but
I
soon
see.
I will back to Russia.
Oh, okay.
So I have question to you. I was currently met some of Mahayana practices by my Dhamma friends, and I'm telling about Mahamudra and Dzogchen practices. And now I'm exploring this, and it's include meditations on emptiness. And I'm interested in it because it's working with both with the internal and external world, while Theravada practice is working only with internal world. And this is resonate with me, and I find that it works good for me. So now I'm trying to draw some parallels with Theravada, and my question is there some concept in Theravada that is similar to the concept of emptiness meditation in Mahayana? And what do you think about this? Thank you.
Well, I don't know anything about Mahayana,
Yeah.
so I don't think I can really give you a proper answer. But in Buddhism, we also practice toward emptiness. We want to empty everything in our mind, because what appears in the mind can cause us problem. So when there's nothing in the mind, then there will be nothing to cause us any problem. So the goal of meditation is to stop everything. When you can stop the mind, then everything that appears in the mind will disappear, and there will be just emptiness.
Mhm. So it's like anatta, yeah?
It's not anatta. Anatta means no self, but emptiness is like space, more like space, spiritual space, mental space, not physical space, but similar. When you go into space, then you don't have cars, you don't have people, you don't have houses, right? When you're in space.
Yes.
When you meditate, when your mind becomes calm, everything that is in your mind right now will disappear.
Mm.
And then you'll find peace and contentment with emptiness, happiness.
Yeah, it sounds similar. So where can I find more information about Theravada emptiness meditations?
Right now here, this I just tell you, this is to meditate using anapanasati, using mindfulness of breathing.
Mhm.
And when you're not meditating, you be mindful of your body activity. Keep watching your body to stop your mind from thinking too much. And when you meditate, then close your eyes and watch your breathing at the tip of your nose, and try not to think, because the goal is to stop thinking. When you stop thinking, the mind becomes empty, and then you experience this emptiness.
I got it. I got this. Thank you.
All right?
Yeah,
Okay. Anything else? Nothing.
that's all.
Okay. I'll go to California now. Saket.
Hello, Tanajan.
Yes, can I help you today?
Yes, Tanajan, I had a question around caring for our parents. My mother has a kind of a bipolar depression disorder. And so there are periods where she's very low, and and then there are periods where there's a lot of high energy. As a result, when she's very low, she is a little bit interested in the Dhamma, but not, I think maybe her medicine, she's in a lot of medication, that also comes in the way. But yeah, just wanted any guidance you can provide in what's a good way for caring for my mother.
Well, you have to care for her physical well-being first, right? Provide her with the basic necessity of life, food, clothing, medicine, and a place to stay. That's for the physical part. The mental part, if you can encourage her to listen to Dhamma talks or read Dhamma books or practice meditation, then you can do it. But if she's not able to do it, then there's nothing you can do for her as far as the spiritual part is concerned.
Yes, that makes sense. Thank you very much, Ajahn.
Okay. Is that all?
Yeah, that's all for today. Thank you.
All right. I'll go to Bangkok now with B. Ravin.
Hello, good evening, Prajan.
Yes, what can I do for you?
Prajan, I have one or two questions. The first one is regarding emptiness that you just mentioned. So we meditate to make the mind empty. So does that mean Jana is a type of emptiness, or is a tool to get us to emptiness?
Well, Jana are the stages of different emptiness. First jhana is not fully empty. Second jhana become more empty until you got to the fourth jhana, then you get full emptiness. And maybe not full emptiness, because there are still arupa jhana, which is more empty than the fourth jhana. The fifth jhana is more empty than. There's so many different levels of things in the mind. But once you get to the fourth jhana, you start to feel almost empty. Everything is almost empty. You can read the description of different jhanas. They tell you first jhana, you still get thoughts. You still have discursive thinking. You still have feeling of joy and so forth. And as you go advanced, this thing will change. I cannot remember the different things contained in various different jhanas. You have to read it, but you don't really have to. When you meditate, you don't worry about it. You just keep meditating, and the mind becomes gradually empty as it goes along, until you reach contentment, which is upekkha. And if you still want to go deeper, more empty than that, you can then enter into the arupa jhana.
So
There's still another 4 arupa jhana.
Oh, I see. But Prajan, okay.
But it's not
I
necessary.
understand.
You don't
Prajan,
need to go
you
more
don't
further
really
than
give
the 4th
much
jhana.
emphasis on trying to achieve a Rupa Jhana.
You don't need to. All you need is the 4th jhana to support your vipassana practice.
So Arupa Jhana is not necessary. It's just there for those who want
Those
to
who
go
have
deeper.
stronger mindfulness, who wants to go deeper, who can go deeper.
I see, understand, Prajan. So focus on the getting into emptiness and contentment of the 4th jhana is
Yes.
sufficient to
Once you have contentment, then
non-contemplation.
you can resist your defilement, your craving. The reason why we cannot resist our craving because we don't have contentment. We feel discontent. So then our craving tells us, well, if we're discontent, then let's go to have a party, for instance. And you say, yeah, it's good to go to a party. But party is just a temporary fix, right? After the party, you're still left discontent. But if you have contentment from the fourth jhana, you say, why bother have a party? Because you are already happy where you are. So you can resist your cravings for things to keep you happy, because you're already happy with meditation.
Yes, because you want to.
I think your connection is not so good. It comes on and off. I'll come back to you later, okay?
Yep.
I'll go to Mike now. I think Mike, if I can remember your name correctly, Mike Sheffield.
Good evening, Frau Ajaan. Thank you for taking me again, and thank you everybody for sharing your questions today. I was reading an interview with another monk with Tan Jeff, who actually told me about you, and he was talking about how he gave up listening to classical music when he became more further along on the path. And he mentioned something along the lines of, you know, when you are, if you see visions of something when you close your eyes or when you meditate, then it's something that's, you know, defiling your meditation, especially if it's like a distraction or like an unwholesome thought. But then when it comes to like wholesome thoughts or like, you know, things that like have a positive influence that are like outside, I'm wondering if it's as bad for your meditation. You know, he talked about giving up classical music, but if that is something that like maybe brings you tranquility, is that still an unwholesome thing? What if it were going to come up in your meditation, and to give you calm, or is anything that is not explicitly tied to the Dhamma going to cause you distraction and eventually dukkha?
Yes, they are all distraction in the first place, and second, they can cause you stress sooner or later, because they are not always reliable to have. When you want it and when you cannot get it, then you become stressful. So don't rely on anything external. Rely only what you have, which is mindfulness, to keep your mind calm and content. Once you get to contentment, then you don't need to have anything. But if you need some other thing to make you content, they are only temporarily. And when they are gone, you will feel discontent again. So they become distraction. If you pay attention or give time to them, enjoy them, for instance. Instead of meditating, you say, okay, I'll listen to a symphony or something. But then what happened after the symphony is gone, you know? And if you want to keep listening to the same symphony, you get tired of it. Eventually, you get bored. So everything external of the mind is not fixed for the mind. Only mindfulness and jhana is the fix for the mind, plus wisdom, which will be the final fix of the mind. So just concentrate on these three things: mindfulness, meditation, or jhana, and then after that, use wisdom to teach you that everything in this world is anicca, is not reliable. They're not your reliable source of happiness, because they are all temporary. They don't exist forever. They come and go. Then you stop relying on anything external and rely only what you have, which is mindfulness, to keep your mind peaceful and happy. This is the main tool that will make you happy, is mindfulness. Wisdom only tells you not to rely on other things, but mindfulness. But our delusion keeps telling us we should rely on this or that thing to keep us happy, right? We should rely on money, we should rely on status, we should rely on the sensual objects, for instance, to make us happy. But all these things they are temporary. They're not permanent fix for you. But the real permanent fix is your ability to calm your mind, which is mindfulness. That's why the Buddha said mindfulness is the most important Dhamma. Because mindfulness can stop your mind from craving. It can stop your, it can make your mind feel content. Wisdom will tell you why you should rely on mindfulness and not on other things. Because everything else are all anicca, anatta. Anicca, they're temporarily, anatta, you cannot control them. You cannot keep them all the time. Okay, understand now the importance of mindfulness and jhana.
Thank you, Ajaan.
When you meditate, anything appears in your mind, ignore everything, come back to your meditation object right away. It means if you pay attention to anything, it means you are distracted already. And the longer you pay attention, then you will not, the harder for you to be able to enter into jhana. If you don't pay attention to anything that appears, eventually your mind will be totally absorbed in your meditation. Then nothing can distract you from that point onward. Okay. Good enough?
That's all I have. Thank you so much, Ajaan.
Okay. Go to Samanji now. Hi, Samanji. I didn't know you were related to Stalin. I know Stalin for a few years already.
Yeah, he's my uncle. He's the one who introduced me to you actually got me to read your teachings and all.
I see.
Yeah, that was some years back.
And you didn't have time to do it. Okay,
I have
any other question? Go ahead.
I have 10 questions. Do you think
Go
I have the
ahead.
time
Yes,
for that?
yes, plenty of time.
Ajaan, firstly, I want to ask, what's a Buddhist explanation of the mind and the body? I mean, the mind-body relationship?
The mind and body are like husband and wife.
Okay.
The mind is the husband, he's the master of the house. When the body is the wife, the follower of the master. Because the mind is the one who tells the body what to do. Before you can speak, the mind has to think first, what am I going to say? And then it tells the body to say. So the body just takes command from the mind. So in this regard, the mind is the master and the body is just a servant. Okay. Then secondly, the mind is permanent. The mind lasts forever, while the body lasts temporarily, not more than 100 years or so. It will then have to dissolve, return. The four elements will then separate from the body. Then the mind will go seek a new body if the mind still needs to have a new body to satisfy its craving. But if someone who can stop all the cravings, then there will be no need for the mind to go take a new body. The Buddha and the Arahant, they don't need a new body anymore because they don't have any cravings to use the body to satisfy their cravings.
Is it, Ajaan, is it correct to say that mind and body are interdependent as discussed in dependent origination?
Well, the mind depends on the body because the mind have craving.
Not vice versa.
Right, and if the mind doesn't have any craving, then it doesn't have to rely on the body.
Okay.
Like the Buddha and the Arahant, they don't really have to rely on the body. But we still have to rely on the body because we still want to access the essential objects. We still want to see things, hear things. So we need to have a body.
Okay, Tanajan, my second question is, how does the concept of anatta, I mean non-self in Buddhism, challenge conventional understanding of personal identity? Anatta.
Well, because one is the truth and the other is the falsehood. See? The conventional understanding is false, not according to the truth. Not because everything is like the weather, the wind, the rain, the sun. Is there self in the rain, in the sun, in the wind? There's no self in them. So if you look at everything, they all come from the four elements. So how can the four elements have any self? How can a body which is being formed by the four elements becomes a self? It's just an idea and a delusion created by the mind. That's all.
Okay. Then Tanajan, when an individual, when a person falls sick, like that means that their self is, he falls sick when a person falls ill or something. Like that means he has self that he falls ill.
No, it's just the body that gets sick like an automobile. A car gets sick right when you cannot run it. Then you have to take it to the shop to fix it. Same way with the body. Sometimes the body gets sick because some parts of the body is not functioning properly.
Okay.
So you have to take it to the doctor, take it to the shop, to the hospital to have it fixed. But the mind doesn't get sick with the body. The mind is like the driver of the automobile.
Okay. Also, Tanajan, as individuals, we receive education, we follow degrees and all. If there's no self for individual, then who is undergoing this education and all that? If there's no self, I'm just curious.
The mind is the one who's learning everything. But the mind is not a self, that's all.
Okay. And in answering to one of our previous questions, you said mindfulness can stop craving. Could you please elaborate? You said that mindfulness is the main thing the Buddha said.
Yes, because when you meditate with mindfulness, then you can stop the mind from thinking. When you don't think, then you cannot crave. See? You can only crave after you think. If you think of a new bag, a new dress, then you start to crave for a new bag, a new dress. But if you don't think about it, then you don't crave for it, right? So when you're not thinking at all, how can you crave for anything?
Okay.
So anytime you crave, you just stop thinking, then the craving will disappear.
Okay. Yeah. And my next question is related to Kamma Ajaan. Like when we undergo hardships or face difficult relationships in life, we often attribute this experience to our past karma. Like we say that if someone does something bad to us, it's because of bad karma we accumulated in the past. And it means that we are meant to suffer for our previous actions. Here my question is, Tanajan, if someone wrongs us as a result of our past karma, that person is creating new bad karma for themselves because of us. Does this mean that in order for us to suffer for our past karma, another person is compelled to commit a bad action for which they will later suffer?
Yes, that's why the Buddha teaches us to forgive.
Okay.
Do not take revenge on other people.
And to make us suffer, the other people are drawn to make more karma.
That's right, because they are creating more revenge from you, and then you will react the same way with them again. So the Buddha said, you can only stop this bad karma by forgiving, by stop taking revenge.
Okay. So we have to be very thoughtful not to create further karma, no Tanajan.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just accept the consequence of your bad karma. If someone wants to hit you, let them hit you, and then once that passes, then that person will feel happy and no longer will bother you. And if you don't react, you don't hurt them, they don't come back and bother you anymore. But if you react and hurt them, they'll come back. So just be back and forth, never ending. and never end.
Then my next, actually, I recently met an old university friend of mine who used to keenly read and follow Buddhism years back when she was at the university. But now, however, she believes it's not appropriate to view everything negatively and that there are good things in life to appreciate. She said when one focuses on asubha, only negative things or happenings will attract us. Then I told her, seeing the truth as it is different from seeing things negatively. I also said that we often fail to see the true nature of things due to our greed and aversion. Sometimes, no matter how hard an individual tries, it's difficult to perceive sense organs or sensual objects objectively. So this is what I told her. What's the best answer I should give her, Tanajan? Because now she says when one focuses on asubha only, negative things or happenings will attract us.
It's just a belief, it's not true. Asubha is for the purpose of getting rid of your sexual desire.
No, what she said was Buddhism largely focuses on negative aspects of life. When we keep on focusing on such things, we'll attract only negative things.
No, they are medicine to cure our sickness, our stresses. Sometimes you have to take bitter medicine to cure your sickness, right? Sometimes you have to go through operation, surgery to fix your sickness. So asubha is like a surgery for the mind. And for people who is not sick, they don't want to go to surgery, right? It's only for those who feel that sexual desire is a problem for them. But if sexual desire is not a problem for them, then they see no need for asubha, contemplation of asubha. So it's only for those who is sick, like me, I'm sick. I know that sexual desire is bad for me. It caused me to become sick. So I want to get rid of this sickness, so I'd have to use asubha. Once I use asubha, my mind becomes calm and peaceful.
Okay. And also, Tanajan, can I ask a few more questions?
Sure, go ahead.
Can a person become Sotapanna without achieving the fourth jhana? Is it a must to achieve the fourth jhana to become Sotapanna?
Yes, I think you need to have the fourth jhana, but it doesn't mean you have to meditate like if you had fourth jhana before, you might not have to meditate in this life.
Okay.
It will stick with you already.
If you have got it from a previous birth.
That's right.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You have to have equanimity. That's what I'm saying. You have to be able to. You have to have contentment. You have to be happy with yourself, so you don't have any need for anything to make you happy.
Okay. And also, Tanajan, a Sotapanna is a person who has got rid of the first three fetters. Can a Sotapanna still feel jealous of another? Can he still want to achieve material benefits?
Yes, he can still have this.
He can still feel jealous of others?
Jealous, angry at other people.
Okay.
He still have a self in the mind. See, there's no self in the body, but he still have a self in the mind that he cannot get rid of yet.
Okay. Yeah, and my next question is Buddhism scientific? In what ways does the Buddhist approach to understanding the mind and consciousness align with contemporary scientific research? Is Buddhism scientific? Just curious to.
Yes, the mind is like the body. See? We study the nature of the body, that's scientific, right? We study the nature of the mind, that's also scientific.
Okay. But it's different from psychology, no?
It is more or less psychology, but not psychology according to people learn in the university. That's not complete psychology like you learn from the Buddha.
Okay. And Tanajan, could you tell me more about this Fire Sutta Aditya Pariyaya? I think it says all sensual objects are like fire. Like it's a very detailed sutta. Like I try to read read the English version, but it's like too lengthy.
Yes. What you see, what you listen can cause your mind to become heated up, becoming hot. When you see
Okay, it's
something you
like
don't
fire,
like,
okay.
yeah, like fire. That's all what he means. If you want your mind to be calm and cool, stay away from these sensual objects. That's what he means.
Okay.
But you're living with sensual object every day of your life.
Okay. But it's a very detailed sutta. We have to.
It's
It
only
takes time to read it.
Yeah, it's only for monks really. For those who already become monks
Okay.
and thinking of going back to become a householder again, then this will be something to stop them, preventing them from going back.
Yeah. And Ajaan, for lay people, what are the best suttas? I think like Mahamangala Sutta.
Yeah, that's a good one for them.
That's a good one.
38
And
step to Nibbana.
Yes, 38 steps. Yeah. And my next question, Ajaan, is like how does an ideal Buddhist apply the Four Noble Truths in daily life to address and overcome suffering? How should one make use of Four Noble Truths in daily life to address and overcome suffering?
Whenever you become stressful, ask yourself, what is it that caused you to become stressful? You want something, right? And you cannot get that something, then you become stressful. Now you want to get a raise and you cannot get a raise, you can become angry. So you have to look at the person who give you the raise. Can you control that person or not? You cannot. It's anatta. Right? It's like a weather. You cannot control the weather. So you cannot tell the person to give you a raise if they don't want to give you a raise. So if you accept that person like you accept the wind, then you just wait for the raise to come when it comes. If it doesn't come, then you don't crave for it. That's all. So you stop your craving or your desire for a raise. Once you stop, then the stress in yourself in your mind will disappear. So whenever you feel stressful, it's because you desire for something or craving for something that you cannot get. Maybe you want your son or daughter to behave in a certain way and they're not behaving in a certain way. Then you become stressful also. Then you have to look at them as anatta. Can you control them all the time? You cannot. So you have to accept them for what they are. Once you can accept them for what they are, then you will have no cravings to change them. Then when you have no cravings, then there will be no stress.
Okay. Yeah, my next question is like insects and especially worms are born in millions simply from dust. They are born just from dust. Isn't it hard for us to believe that they might have had previous births? Worms.
See,
They are born from.
the body come from the four elements. Like our body also come from the four elements. Same thing, no different. The
So
mind,
human, yeah.
the mind only connected to the body. The mind doesn't come inside the body. The mind is like another telephone connecting to another telephone, which is the body. And it uses the radio frequency, the radio wave to communicate with each other.
And a human can be reborn as a worm?
Yes, if you do bad karma.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And what's the best way to cultivate compassion in our interaction with others, especially in an office setup, Ajaan?
Compassion.
Compassion, metta, yeah.
Well, you just have to force yourself to do it. When you see somebody, say hello, smile at the person to make them happy.
Even smiling.
Okay. And if someone needs help, give them a hand if you can.
Okay.
But if you could not help them because maybe you're not able to, then you have to use equanimity. You just have to, well, sorry, and there's nothing I can do for you. And don't feel sad or bad about it because you cannot actually do it.
Yeah. And if we are overworked, like, do we still have to do other people's work?
That's what I mean.
Is it
If you cannot do anything, then you just have to use equanimity.
Okay. Should be a limit, no?
Yeah, that's a limit in how much you can do and what you can do also. If you see someone drowning and you don't know how to swim, how are you going to help that person?
Okay.
To become sad doesn't change anything, right? It's only it only hurts you when you become sad. So you don't become sad. You just accept that there's nothing you can do. It's beyond your help, beyond your ability.
Okay. And also Ajaan, like according to there's this vegan concept, like they say that it's not proper to consume any dairy product, I mean milk, cheese or anything, because it's better to go vegan. Like what's your view? Is it a sin to?
No, it's not a sin to eat animal
I mean,
meat
anyway,
or
this is
milk.
not meat, this is milk and dairy products. So yeah.
As long as it's
It's vegan.
available freely to you and you have nothing to do with how this thing come to you, then you're not committing any bad karma.
But these animals undergo hell in those dairy farms and all.
Yes, it's the karma to
but
become an animal, see. In the past life,
that's fine to consume milk and all. If we all stop taking milk and all, then there won't be any animal suffering, right?
all those animals will die of starvation because nobody will feed them. The farmer feed the animal because they can get the milk, so they can sell the milk to pay for the feed of the animal, right? So if they cannot sell the milk, then they don't have the money to buy the food for the animal.
But at the end, all these animals will be slaughtered.
Well,
At the end,
whether they slaughter or not, they all die they all die, just like we all do. Whether we're vegans or not, we all die. So this is not the issue. The issue is not to do any bad karma, that's all.
but when you get slaughtered, like you undergo a lot of pain and suffering, it's not like a natural death, right? But
It's the same thing. Death is the same thing. Whether death by anything is death.
Okay, Tanaji. And my last question is like, what are Rupa Jana and Arupa Jana? And could you tell me where I can read more about it? Like in simple.
Just search in the Google for
I did
Jana.
that, but those are very detailed, Tanajan. Like maybe firstly to get a rough idea.
Too detailed for you?
Yeah. What I came across on the net was too detailed actually. Like
Well, Jana, the word Jana translated into English means absorption. The mind absorbs into something.
this is what are Rupa Jana and Arupa Jana. I know about Jan, but Rupa Jana and Arupa Jana, what's the distinction? Like,
Just a different level of absorption.
beyond fourth level is Arupa Jana, right?
That's right. And then you're more absorbed into something more subtle, more delicate.
Okay. Okay, Tanajan.
Okay.
That's all I have for today. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much.
Thank you for your question also.
Okay, thank you so much.
Don't hesitate next time you have any more questions. You're always welcome.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. I'll go to Althor Sim from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Yes,
I'm just
good.
listening. No more questions tonight.
Okay, I think it's the same
Thank
way
you.
with Gate from Penang.
Yes.
Gate?
Ajahn, I'm listening, Ajahn. Yeah.
Okay. How about Belinda from Singapore?
The same cluster, Ajahn.
Okay. I'll go to Vancouver with Sri and check. Hi, Sri and check.
Hello, Ajahn.
Yes, go ahead.
You can talk. Check is not feeling well.
That's normal. That's normal according to the Buddha. Getting sick is normal. Dying is normal. Getting old is normal. No need to get excited.
Yeah, she cannot speak.
I can speak.
Okay.
So it's better for me. She can't speak.
So she doesn't bother you. She can stop nagging. No more nagging from her for a few days.
Yeah, that's good. And then Ajahn, okay, how does the fourth jhana like support vipassana?
Because fourth jhana give you contentment. Once you're contented, then no matter how much you crave for, you can stop it. You don't have to have anything anymore. See, like when you have a full stomach, if somebody show you more food, you say, "Oh, I cannot take it anymore," which is different from an empty stomach, right? When you have an empty stomach, you see food and you start to crave for them. But when you have a full stomach, then you don't crave for food anymore. It's the same way with the mind. Once the mind have a full stomach, have contentment, then it can stop all types of cravings. If it learns that craving will lead to more stress or suffering.
So meanings like once after the fourth jhana, we trying to teach our mind that we don't need anything. Is that
That's
how?
right. When you come out of jhana, you start to see things, hear things, then your old craving will come up because jhana could not get rid of the craving. Jhana only suppress it temporarily. Once you come out of jhana, when you start to think, then your contentment will gradually disappear and you can become hungry again. So then you need wisdom to tell you not to go after your cravings. Because craving will lead to perpetual craving. Because whatever you get will never give you full contentment, permanent contentment. And what you get also can cause you problem because they change or they can break down or disappear from you. So you see all the dukkha in everything that you crave for. That they are temporarily, they are anicca. They are not under your control. You cannot keep them, protect them to be with you all the time. So when you see anicca, anatta, you see dukkha in the things you crave for, then you say, I don't want to have anything. Better to live alone with contentment, with my mindfulness and upekkha.
So you go back to get the contentment, and then after the jhana, and then train the mind again and again and again until one become enlightened.
Until you get rid of every type of cravings in your mind.
Yeah. So the first thing is to get rid of attachment to the body.
Yes, then to feelings, then to the mind, so to the state of mind, the emotion or the states of the mind. We still changing. Okay, understand. You see that the body is changing. You cannot keep it good all the time. Eventually you'll get old, get sick, or die. And like Chen right now. See, she gets sick right now. You cannot prevent it from getting sick, but you don't want it to get sick. So you get stressed. You become stressful when the body gets sick, because you don't want it to get sick. But if you study the nature of the body, then you will eventually have to accept, well, it's going to get sick. It's normal. So don't have any desire for it not to get sick. Don't have any craving for it not to get sick. Let it get sick. It's okay. Because you are not the one who gets sick. You are the mind. As long as you have contentment, you have upekkha, the sickness of the body won't bother you. Okay, understand?
Yes.
So you give up your body, give up your feelings from sickness, painful feeling of sickness. Just have to learn to live with it. Don't crave, don't try to get rid of it, because you could not. They'll go away itself eventually. When the sickness disappears, then the painful feeling will also disappear.
Then we forgot again. and we go back to attachment to the body again.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And one more thing, absorption. Like why people say when you get into fourth jhana, it's kind of absorption. Like what does it mean?
It means the mind becomes absorbed with the breath, and it's not distracted by anything. Become one with the breath. And then become still, and then the breath disappears from the mind, and the mind become calm and peaceful, and have equanimity, have contentment, because it stops thinking.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's all. Thank you, Tanja.
You're welcome. To Luis Santiago from Sao Paulo. Have you met Alfredo yet? You're in the same town.
No, I was just visiting my brother quickly in São Paulo. I'm in another state now called Minas Gerais.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
In this state here, I discovered there's a monk living here, a student of I think Luang Por Lien from Ajaan Chah's lineage. He founded a monastery. So by the end of the month, I intend to go there to visit him.
Good.
Yeah.
Is he Thai or is he Westerner?
No, he's Brazilian. So he speaks perfect Portuguese. And yeah.
That's good. How long has he been ordained? Must be quite a few years.
Oh, I don't know, many years, because he lived in Thailand. I don't remember the monastery. And then he moved to New Zealand. His teacher told him to go to New Zealand. And then his teacher told him to do something in Brazil, found a monastery in Brazil. Okay. So it's been many years, but I don't know how many years he's, how many vasas.
And this is in the state where you are now?
Yes, yeah. 5 hours from here, from where I am, by car.
Okay. You have any question tonight?
Yeah, one question is, what is the single most thing Upasaka and Upasika should focus on to attain Sotapanna?
Mindfulness, first of all.
Yeah.
Just be mindful from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. You have to be continuous. Try not to have any break in between. Try to be mindful. If you're doing something, be mindful with what you do. Like you're eating, mindful of eating. If you're walking, mindful of walking. To prevent your mind from wandering away from the body. Don't let the mind go away. Keep it with the body. Or you can use the mantra Bhutto Bhutto instead if you like. If you find that you cannot focus on what you do and keep thinking about other things, then use the mantra with what you do. Watch what you do and also use the mantra Bhutto Bhutto.
Yeah, I have the bad habit of doing more than one thing at once.
That's right. We all do. That's why we have to change.
Yes.
That's being not mindful. See? Not being mindful.
And yeah, this last week, while I was in retreat in Wat Yan, I could have more stable meditation slowly, gradually better. And now with the daily activities and working and doing things with my family, I'm much more distracted. So the last week I was feeling bad a bit for not meditating as long as as I should or could maybe. But I've been listening a lot of teachings, and the presence of a teacher, even if it's just a recording, helps me have more stable. Should I change that or like try to focus more on meditating rather than listening?
Well, it depends which one works better for you. Look at the result. Look at the result from your practice. Which method works better for you? Use that method.
Yeah, I feel I need to listen
But I think
more.
what you need is to go on a retreat. You need to recharge your battery.
Yeah, I'm going by the end of the month. I'm going to Sudavari, this monastery in the south of Minas Gerais.
You'll find it more useful to be away from everything.
Yeah, to me it does make a difference. Yeah. Mm.
Okay. You still thinking of coming back to Thailand next year?
Yeah, next year. Yeah, I'm planning to next year.
Okay.
Mm.
Anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Intan from Indonesia.
Good evening, Prajan.
Yes, what can I help you?
Yeah, yes, Prajan, I want to ask, in Samatha Bhavana have 40 objects.
40 different
So
objects.
we, so we need to try one by one, or just usually I just practice Anapanasati. So and I get the result. So I just practice Anapanasati, and no need to try another object, or need to try another object.
Yes, for now, when you start, you find whichever method is good for you that can take you to the fourth jhana, then use that method. But after you finish with once you have the fourth jhana, you want to go to vipassana, then you can change the object. You can use the supa, for instance, or you can use death contemplation, for instance. Will be vipassana. But you still come back with anapanasati. Every time you want to meditate, you can always use anapanasati. But if you want to use vipassana, then you have to use some other object, like your body. Study the nature of your body.
So when the right time for me to practice Asubha? When I'm
Well, you can do it now as a homework first. You might not have any problem with sexual desire right now, but you might not know when you might have problem with it later. So it's better to do your homework, study the Asubha, so that you can see the unpleasant parts of the body. So maybe one day you run into a man attractive to you and you start to have sexual desire, then you can use the Asubha to stop it. Or when you want to stop sexual activity and keep a precept forever, then you have to use the Asubha when you have sexual desire. So it depends
when
on.
we meditate and we yes.
Go ahead.
No. When we meditate and we can see our heart of our body, like our heart, what should we do? Just ignore and
if you want to meditate for jhana, then you ignore everything.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, understand.
But if you want to study a Asubha and it appears in your mind, then try to keep it for as long as possible. It depends on when you use it. If you want to empty your mind, then you want to don't pay attention to anything. But if you want to develop Asubha in your mind, then you have to think of body part in your mind and keep it for as long as possible, so that you don't forget. But this is a different practice. It's not for jhana, it's for vipassana.
Okay.
With vipassana, you want to maintain Asubha in your mind all the time, so that whenever you see a body, you see the 32 parts right away. Like when you see me, you should be able to see my skeleton, my skulls, my intestine, my heart, my lungs, and everything. And then that means you are having an Asubha meditation in your mind. You want to have a good picture of it all the time, So whenever you have any sexual desire, you can use this picture to stop your sexual desire. Okay,
Okay.
good.
Yeah, understand, Ajahn.
There are two separate practices. Practice for jhana and practice for wisdom is different. Okay.
Mhm.
Practice for jhana, you want to empty your mind, stop everything. If you want to practice for wisdom, and then it depends on what you want to see. If you want to see a supa, then you want to try to keep this asupa in your mind forever if you can. If you want to use death, then you have to think of death all the time, so that you don't forget death. So it depends on with vipassana, there are many different subjects you want to study: death, painful feeling, and asupa mainly. These are the three subjects that you want to study. Okay.
Okay, Ajahn. Okay.
Next we'll go to Joko from Indonesia.
Thank you, Ajahn. Yes, it's been a long time, Ajahn. So I have a question. Recently, I still practice meditation, but I didn't attend Ajahn meeting because last time I prepared for my further education to the United States. So probably next 2 months I will go to the state. And then my question is, so in our life, of course we have expectation, and if we didn't get it, we will get stressed. For a long time of meditation practice, I got many benefit. For example, like I can feel a whole day of feeling calm without thinking about anything. But when I am stressed, probably there is something that I want, but I didn't get it. As my mind keep on thinking about anything, and even I don't know, I think that my practice didn't work at that time. Do you have any advice, Ajahn, about how to handle our mind or to stop thinking while we are in stress or pressured situation?
Yes, you have to use the Four Noble Truths. The cause of your stress is your desire to get something, right? You have to look at that something as being anicca, not reliable, not certain. You might get it and you might not get it. You have to look at it that way. So when you don't get it, you don't become stressful. You can accept, yes, sometimes you can get it, sometimes you don't get it. Okay, this time you don't get it, just accept it. And then your stress will disappear.
But for according to Ajahn, it's okay to have expectation, especially we are lay people.
Yes, but you have to know that your expectation might come true and might not come true. That's all.
I
So
see, Ajahn.
you have to accept the two consequences. Sometimes it comes true, and sometimes it doesn't come true.
Yes. And then I also watch a footage of Ajahn Chah preaching about Nibbana, and Luang Por Cha said that if we want to attain Nibbana, we practice, but we don't expect or have desire to go to Nibbana. I try to do it. Can I just try to do it in my daily life? Like, for example, I want to get this, but then I just try to do that without any expectation. Just try to make effort, but no expectation. Is it good or
like when you're eating, do you have expectation of to become full or not?
Yes.
You do. Sometimes you just eat and you don't care.
Yes, Ajahn.
Just keep eating. Same way with meditation. Just keep meditating and you get to Nibbana, whether you expect or not. But if you keep expecting and not meditating, you won't get there anyway. So don't worry about expectation. Worry about meditating. Worry about the practice.
I see, Ajahn. And sometimes if we have expectation, even in meditation, it can be very stressful to us. Like if we have practiced meditation for a long time, and for me especially, I can sit for 2 hours to meditate, but sometimes in some session of meditation, I think that I didn't get anything, but in other just short meditation duration, I can feel calm, and sometimes I can be very focused and get some result. Is this like that, Ajahn?
Yes, it's anicca. It's not always the same.
Yes.
You can get more sometimes and you can get less sometimes. So you just have to be happy with whatever you get.
So the way is just to practice again.
Practice and then be happy with what you get. Like go fishing. You go fishing, you might get 5 fish, you might get 2 fish. Whatever fish, just be happy. Or you don't get a fish at all. You don't know. Life is like that. So practice is like that also. Sometimes you get good result and sometimes you don't get good result. But as long as you keep practicing, you'll notice that you get more better result as you advance.
Yes, I understand, Ajahn. Well, that's all, Ajahn.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn. I'm happy to be listening to questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Aparajita from Dubai.
Hello, good evening, Ajahn.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. Have you finished your yoga classes?
Yes, I did, and I was a little late because my house is being painted, so I got shifted around. So that's about it. But yes, all day.
How
Finished
many hours you teach a day on yoga?
Well, I have like today I had around 4 sessions.
4 sessions.
And yes, and
1
then
hour.
sometimes 5.
1
1
hour
hour.
session.
Yes. And then I also practice. So those are like 90-minute sessions sometimes. So that's 2-3 times a week. So yes.
You can
Actually,
use mindfulness when you teach also, right? You can
Yes.
practice mindfulness while you teach also.
That is true because I have to really watch the students because when you're guiding them, I have to see if they're doing it right. So even if I'm not really thinking about it, I kind of have to keep focus.
Yeah,
So
focus.
that,
That's
yes,
mindfulness.
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything tonight you would like to ask?
No, nothing. But I had a very interesting thing. I was thinking if you could offer some insight. I suppose it's about the mind. Strangely, this morning, I usually wake up very early, but I somehow slept off. And I had a morning class. And in my dream, I kept thinking that I'd already reached that person, though I woke up much later. So I found it interesting that of all the dreams, I had that. It was almost like my mind trying to remind me. So how does that process work?
This is something we should not worry about. We just should worry how we should treat what happens. And the Buddha just said just to be observant and just keep in your mind that these things happen, and that's it.
Right.
Don't pay attention to it anymore.
Okay, all right.
Don't burden your mind with anything like what happened, how happened. Doesn't matter to the mind. What matters to mind is how to keep the mind calm and peaceful.
That is true. Yes, and that is a lot of work. Yes.
Yeah. Just treat everything as anicca, anatta. They come and go.
Okay.
And if you think you can make good use of it, then maybe you can use it later on for some purpose.
Right.
If not, then just don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Our goal is to empty our mind as much as possible, not burden our mind with so much stuff.
True. Yes. 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 Yes.
Okay. Because they're not useful for the mind at all. What is useful is emptiness. Everything else is just harmful to the mind.
That's true. And just yes. Okay.
Okay. Try to empty your mind.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Next,
Thank
Steph.
you.
Steph from Oregon. Hi, Steph. How are you? You have someone to join?
Yelling at my husband.
He wants to
Like, get out of
join?
here.
Oh,
He's got to go back to work.
I see.
He works from home. Yeah.
Okay. He doesn't
I don't.
meditate. He doesn't meditate.
I wish he would.
Right.
I tell him to meditate before because he works from home and he just starts working right away. And I tell him meditate 5 minutes, and he doesn't.
Okay. Anything you like to ask?
I just wanted to talk about you a little bit. I was reading how you went to college in California and you have a degree in engineering, and then you came home and you dedicated your life to meditation. And I find it so beautiful and grateful that you're doing it. And was that hard to like have that experience of like coming and doing this degree and then just putting it away?
Well, it's in a way it's hard, but I'm fortunate that it's not so hard. It's hard, but it's bearable. That can allow me to go through this, not as suffering as other people might have to. So maybe it's my good fortune to have practiced before in my past life. So when I start meditating, I find it to get result quite easily. The mind become calm quite easily from practice. So this really is the driving force for me to push me to continue with my practice.
You really felt the benefits.
Yes, felt the benefit and need to have more of it. That's why I have to quit working, because I know working and meditating doesn't fit. They're opposing each other. If you work, you have to use your thoughts. When you meditate, you want to stop thinking. So then I have to choose one way or the other. So I decided I choose meditation and give up my work. But I have to live frugally because I don't have much money to support me with. But I can get by for 1 year with meditation until I feel strong enough to become a monk. Then after 1 year, I became a monk.
Just took a year. Yeah.
Yeah, it just took a year. Then once I become a monk, then I don't have to worry about financial problem because I'm all provided for as a monk. So I can then meditate all day long.
Yeah, you get to do the beautiful thing. Yeah.
The difficult thing. It's
beautiful. It's difficult. It is difficult. It's true. Difficult. It is true.
It's not easy, I tell you that.
It's not. It's true.
So don't think that it's gonna be easy. It's difficult, but it's not impossible. Let's put it that way. If you have perseverance, you have patience, you'll make it through. And determination, also persistence.
Well, thank you. I'm just really grateful. Thanks.
All right, good. I'll go to Professor Ken from Switzerland.
Good afternoon, Jana.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Are you teaching today?
Yeah, I was a little bit late. We're just finishing off the semester now, so there's some examinations happening, but after that I'll be free.
It's almost summer now. Huh?
Yeah, this is the final week of the semester, so summer is, and I'm going to go and stay in the monastery for a while, so I'm looking forward.
Yeah, stop working for a while and then start meditating again.
Yeah, I mean, I try meditating. I have a regular schedule, but it's distracting to have to work in the middle of that. So.
Yeah, they're conflicting, working and meditating.
yeah, and the more I practice, the bigger the conflict becomes. So I have I know the time's getting on. I have a quick question, Ajahn, if I may.
That's fine, go ahead.
I've found recently a few times when I intensify a little bit the practice, like keeping 8 precepts at a weekend, on a Saturday and a Sunday, for example, towards the end of that, I get sometimes quite a lot of a feeling of anger just arising. It doesn't come out in speech or action because I'm on my own, but in thoughts, I get some quite angry thoughts coming up. Could Ajahn say something about that, how to deal with it?
Because when you keep the precept, the 8 precepts, you're putting pressure on your mind, on your defilement. So it causes you to react negatively. Because the mind or the defilement wants to be free from restraint. But once you put a restraint on them, they start to reacting negatively. But that's normal, don't pay attention. It's just the normal reaction to the defilement. This is something you will have to go through. So one way to reduce it is to maintain more mindfulness. Think less, be more, have mindfulness to hang on to something, and then this thought then will not bother you or will not come up as often.
Okay.
It's because you don't increase your mindfulness. You maintain the same mindfulness, but you're putting more pressure on your defilements, so they're reacting. Yeah. So when you keep the 8 precepts, then it means you have to be more mindful, practice more mindfulness.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, Ajahn, that's very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next, we'll go to a question from Gmail and wherever. Go ahead, please, Kunju.
Namaskaran. We have 11 questions this evening, and the first 5 questions are from the assistant Gmail. The first question is from Sam from Australia. Question 1, can a Sotapanna break a minor precept when he's not mindful enough, or does he keep a perfect precept and won't break any precept in his lifetime?
I think you have to wait to become one to get this answer yourself.
Question 2, should a practitioner regularly examine if he has reached different stages of enlightenment, or is it better that he doesn't think about it and just practice until he reaches enlightenment?
You don't have to examine. The result will tell you, and the result is contentment. The more contentment you have, then the closer you're getting to Nibbana.
The next question is from Yeti. During meditation, I feel tension in my head and around both ears, which I can still feel after meditation. Is it okay, or should I check with a doctor?
If it doesn't persist, then you don't need to check with your doctor. But if it persists for days, then you might have to consult your doctor, find out what happens to your body.
Question 4, when I sit in meditation, is it okay to focus on my breath around the nostril and gross sensation for an hour, or do I change to focusing on scanning the body?
Or just keep focusing on your breath and nothing else until your mind get into jhana.
The next question is from Sammy. I am practicing Anapana for a long time, and during walking meditation, I focus on the feet. Would it be helpful if I incorporate Putto along with the breath, or should it be one or the other?
Well, I think this is up to you. Whichever method suits you or give you the result, then you can use that method. But personally, I find that using one is enough, like watching your steps or reciting the mantra.
The next 5 questions are from Tanik from Facebook. If I am mindful that I'm doing something unskillful, but I still go ahead and act unskillful, what am I missing? Is it wisdom?
Well, if you know it's unskillful, then you have wisdom. But if you don't know and you do it, then you don't have wisdom.
The next question, how can I get rid of handphone addiction, and chatting with friends.
Throw it away.
How to remove my greed for food and eating even when I'm full.
Think of the unpleasant appearance of food, like the food in your mouth, the food in your stomach, or the food that comes out in the toilet.
I don't try to watch my breath now, but just try to be aware of breathing. Is this correct, Bante?
I think it's the same thing, isn't it? Being aware of your breath or watching your breath. It's the same thing.
What is one-pointedness?
When the mind becomes one, when the mind stops thinking and all that is left with just a knowing. This is the result of your meditation when you get to the fourth jhana.
I try to practice mindfulness by mentally describing to myself, what am I doing? Is that correct? Other times excuse me, Ka.
Please repeat again the whole thing.
I try to practice mindfulness by mentally describing to myself, what am I doing? Is that correct? Other times I just remind myself if I'm breathing. Is this correct?
Well, when you're doing something, you should be mindful of what you do. And try not to think. If you still want to think, you might remind yourself not to think by saying, stop thinking, stop thinking. Just focus on what the body is doing to remind you not to think.
And the last question is from Lee Tekhwa. Hi, Ajaan. The Mahayana Buddhists believe in Pure Land. They believe that when a person passes away, the person will go to Pure Land. Where is this Pure Land under the Theravada Buddhism? Thank you.
Nibbana. Nibbana is the Pure Land. The mind that is pure of defilement is called Nibbana. When the mind has no greed, hate, or delusion, then the mind becomes pure. Then this is Nibbana. It's a state of mind, not a place. Not a place in America or Japan. It's in the state of mind. We practice to eliminate the defilement from our mind. This is called purification, mental purification. Okay. All right, I think that's about it for tonight or today. That's all the time we have. Thank you for your participation, for your company. I hope this meeting is helpful and can push you further in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
กราบสาธุเจ้า
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanajan.
Thank you, Gamin.
Thank you, admin.
Thank you, admin.
Assistant.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
บ๊ายบาย
Everybody.
ค่ะ
Thank you.
อนุโมทนาค่ะ